10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Manchester United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Yes, good evening, everybody. I've got that sweet Dutch energy. Big up to Fred, I think it was, who sent me this wicked old school Dutch chop, and I'm going to carry the Dutch energy through with Frenkie de Jong in the same way I carried the Dutch energy through with this man here, Erik ten Hag. How are we doing, everybody? Monitoring. You see that meme that was going around on Twitter this week about, look at this starting 11 from United next season. Discussions FC and monitoring FC. Well, how about first official bid gone in for Frenkie de Jong FC? It's not a very catchy name, but I'm here to bring you the news from Fabrizio Romano that's been breaking this evening about Manchester United actually putting the finger out and putting a bid in for Frenkie de Jong. I'll jump straight into the news. I'll cover it all. There's also reports from Samuel Marsden from ESPN out in Spain. He's an extremely reliable journalist about the reaction to this deal, the scope of this deal. You let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll bring you the news as much as I possibly can. I'm sure you're going to be excited just like I am, because something definitely changed today. From this morning, from that article which we ran through this morning from Laurie Whitwell in The Athletic about Frenkie de Jong, about the fact that Manchester United were feeling more confident about it, about the idea that he had privately told people that he'd be ready to leave. Then we hear this report from Fabrizio Romano tonight. Let's run through this. Let's run through it with you. Right. This was the first thing that Fabrizio tweeted, and it was about here. Sorry, I got distracted. My phone is buzzing as well. Manchester United and Barcelona are in direct contact for Frenkie de Jong since the 1st of June. That was just following on from what he said on the 1st of June. And then he dropped the news of the bid going in. Manchester United have made an opening proposal for Frenkie de Jong after talks started on June the 1st. And look at the size of this bid. And this is where we have a conversation in the comments. 60 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons. That's totaling, of course, 70 million. Don't have to tell you that. Barcelona have turned down this opening bid, but the clubs remain in contact. De Jong has never indicated his desire to anybody. He's still waiting. So Fabrizio going against what Laurie Whitwell says this morning, that Frenkie has sort of told people in private. He goes, yeah, okay, right. That he's open to the idea of joining Manchester United. Not the fact that he wants to join Manchester United, but he's not completely against it. Fabrizio Romano is kind of going against that. Rosie, you're down here in the comments. That's an interesting one. Barcelona have rejected the offer, and you're here rejoicing for a rejected offer. I'm rejoicing because United have pulled the finger out, and we started. Of course, everybody knows how negotiate. What happens when you go and try and buy a car secondhand? What happens when you go to a market and you try and haggle? What happens when you try and buy a house? How often is the first bid accepted? That's called negotiations. Negotiations typically take a little while. Because what you will do, typically in negotiations, you will lowball at the beginning. And then you know that you will be willing to pay a little bit more and you'll come up. And that's what happens. That's what negotiations happen. That's how they happen. Hey, John, you got to love the shirt, man. You got to love the shirt. As I said, this was sent in by a subscriber, Fred. So I'm wearing it to you. Matt, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you there. Finally moving in the right direction. Look, it might be rejected, but I'm not going to sit and rejoice a rejected bid. But I'm going to be happy that this is official movement. This is United putting the car out of neutral, kicking it forward, and United actually starting to do something. Now, of course, what's your reaction to that? Jin, you're saying just give Barca 68 million pounds and get it sorted. What does that work out as? 60 is about 52. Let me try and do this in the old exchange, the current exchange rate. Let's have a look. 60 euros to GBP. Let's find that out. What's the current exchange rate? That converts to 51.2 million pounds. And that means that plus several, it's a little, well, it's definitely less than what they want. That's why the bid got rejected. But there, of course, is more news breaking. It's not just Fabrizio Romano on this one. You got Samuel Marsden, who I've tried to interview previously, and I will try to get again. He's saying that Barcelona will only listen to offers worth 100 million euros for Frenkie de Jong. Now, bear in mind, they paid around about, I think, 75 million pounds-ish. So that was the 85 million. Barcelona aren't exactly in a position to try and demand 100 million pounds from Manchester United. John, you're a big fan of the shirt. Nick, you're saying, told you before, this will be the signing of the summer. I did that video earlier Yeah, somebody's saying there, damn, the euro has dropped hard. The euro has dropped hard, so has the pound. Currencies are down. But it will be a massively transformative signing. Frenkie de Jong coming to Manchester United. I did a video earlier, but I sort of vented a little bit of frustration. The idea that there's no way that we can ignore a defensive midfielder. Surely we're not going to do that again this summer. I don't think so anyway. But Frenkie de Jong, and I said it in my video earlier, there's two types of midfielders that we need, and they have to be assessed and addressed by two different types of signings. One of them is Frenkie de Jong, somebody who comes in and transforms our possession game, transforms our ability to play out from the back with the ball. Frenkie de Jong is the man for that. But we also need an ability to strengthen ourselves out of possession, to make ourselves stronger defensively, to make it so that we've actually got a shield in front of our back four, so our defense doesn't just keep getting pummeled. Frenkie de Jong doesn't necessarily do that. They're two different types of midfielders, but I'm excited about Frenkie de Jong. And as I said, it's good to see and hear Manchester United, as we said, we're starting to make moves. An official, how much do you think, right? You let me know in the comments. So this is the first bid going in. As I said to Rosie, as I say to anybody, negotiations are negotiations. Rarely in anything you're negotiating for in life is the first bid accepted. Unless you go in and you pay a release clause or you pay the asking price and there's no other offers, and then boom, straight away. All right, happy days. But there is no asking price, really. Look, you see that bid from Manchester United, and then you're hearing reports there about 100 million. To go a little bit further into that 100 million concept, Barcelona are willing to negotiate the breakdown of the fee for Frenkie de Jong, such as how much of the price is paid up front and how much is add-ons, but they want the total package to be worth around 100 million. Matt, you're saying that 70 million is a steal, 50 million. I'm not sure whether you're talking down here in the comments, ladies and gents, whether you're talking about euros or whether you're talking about sterling. 70 million, you're saying down there. Barca want 85 million euros, which is 72.6. They want 85. I don't think they'll get 85. I really don't. I think that the idea of getting 85 for them is basically what they invested into the player. That's what they bought Frenkie de Jong for from Ajax. I don't think they're going to be able to get that much money. That's what my gut's telling me. But let's see how it plays out, because as we say, the first bid has gone in, and I'm happy about that, man. We all felt that maybe the actual the actual transfer window opening, there you go, United will actually start doing it, and all of a sudden we got the first official bid for Frenkie de Jong. Bit weird how that's happened. We need Darwin Núñez, says Cryptics down there. Any United fan who wants to get hung up about Darwin Núñez, feel free. Be my guest. My advice to you, you're wasting your goddamn time. We were never going to be paying that amount of money for an attacker, given what we need this summer. The spine of the team needs to be addressed first, and I don't think we could really, realistically pay that much. Maybe that rules us out for Christopher Nkunku as well, because considering we're talking in the region of 70 to 75 million. But that's significantly cheaper than 100 million overall for the package of Darwin Núñez. Rosie, what are you saying here as well? 80 million is a price. If the board is serious, they should go back with that amount. I'm sure they will. And I see no reason now why this has to be a long and drawn out set of negotiations. United are finally at the goddamn table. Monitoring FC, discussion FC, scouting FC, whatever you wanted to call it. That's been what United have been doing for a while. But now we're moving, and we're moving. Hopefully we're going to be aggressive. Josh, you're saying you can't renew your membership for some reason. I've got absolutely no idea why you can't, my friend. I don't particularly know why that is the case. Santosh, you're saying your live show content have the right info and authentic. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Santosh. I don't necessarily, I don't like speaking about praise. I think it's a strange thing to do in public. So I try not to do it too much. But I do work hard at what I do. I do try to make this channel as accurate as possible, as authentic as possible, with as much information as possible, because there's so much on YouTube at the moment, everywhere, that I think it's quite hard for people to get accurate information. And as I said, I'm a trained journalist. I've got a diploma. I wanted to be a journalist, and I'm a different type of journalist, I suppose. But if I can't find the information myself, I'd like to bring it to you as accurately as I possibly can. Keith, I tell you what, my washing machine is busy. Busy today. But look, let's get some more information on what's breaking now about this Frenkie de Jong story. You got Fabrizio Romano, who's the man to go to for Barcelona news on Twitter. He's saying that Frenkie de Jong, he's bringing the news that he's seeing as well, saying that Frenkie de Jong is now open to joining United, and there is a growing feeling a deal can be struck. And that's from Sammy Mokbel from the Daily Mail, and that kind of coincides with what has been said on by Laurie Whitwell on The Athletic. So that something's changed. What do you think has changed in the last, I don't know, 24 hours? Because something clearly, there's been a breakthrough. Whether it's Frenkie de Jong telling Erik ten Hag, yeah, I will join. I'm cool, I'm up for it. And that's been the key to sort of forcing United's hand, making United actually go here and go hard. Because something's changed. It's an interesting thing to speak about. Let me see if Fabrizio's done a post on Instagram. You might be able to get a little bit more information on there too. I shall check that for you, as I always will. Why is that not loading? Instagram on desktop is nowhere near as good as Instagram on your phone. Right, there we go. Let's bring it up. Everybody, if you've got questions, fire them in. I'll try and answer as many as I possibly can throughout this entire show. There we go. Right, got this up. Let's pull this bad boy up from Fabrizio's Instagram account, and let's run through this together. Let's see what else he's saying. Let me zoom in for you. Right, let's go over here. This is it. Fabrizio Romano, Frenkie de Jong deal update. Manchester United have made an opening bid for Frenkie de Jong, as he's still top of the list. Barcelona received a verbal proposal from Frenkie de Jong after direct talks opened on the 1st of June. 60 mil fee guaranteed, so that's up front, presumably, plus 10 mil in add-ons to be discussed in details. They've turned down that bid as their asking price is around 85 million. So he's saying there, you've got a little bit of a contrast from Samuel Marsden here, saying that Barcelona want 100 million for him. And here you've got Fabrizio Romano saying that they want 85 million for him. And I'll be honest, 85 million is the price that we've sort of seen and heard the entire way through, isn't it? The fact that they want 85 million for him. And given that's roughly what they paid for him, it kind of makes sense. A little bit more sense anyway. Go down here. So look, Frenkie de Jong hasn't indicated his desire to anyone, and he's still waiting to see what happens on the club side with Barca. Ten Hag's still pushing behind the scenes to sign de Jong, and that's the update from Fabrizio. Good, man. Happy days. How? Right, you type it in the comments here. I'll try and gauge it. Type yes or no. Do you think we'll sign Frenkie de Jong this summer? From this point here, would you be confident that Manchester United can find that agreement with Barcelona? Current bid there, a total of 70 million euros. They want 85. That's a 15 million euro difference. In the grand scheme of things, it's not exactly a huge amount of money, is it? Well, fuck me, it's a huge amount of money. It would change everybody's life. But in footballing terms, it's quite a small gap to have to cover. Remember the Jadon Sancho situation? Man United were lowballing them with offers of like, what was it? Shit. They wanted like 130 million, and we were going in with like 80. The 50 million gap, and we were never going to close that, and we didn't. But 70 to 85, it's a small gap, that. It's a really small gap. Going down here and seeing lots and lots of comments. You're saying, Nick, 100% yes. Lots and lots of you are feeling confident at this point that you think we're going to be getting him. And I've got to be honest, I stand with you. I stand with you. I think that Frenkie de Jong will be coming to Manchester United. But as it stands, that 60 mil plus 10 mil isn't enough. That's just stage one. When do you think the next bid will go in for Frenkie de Jong? Again, you let me know what you think in the comments. That's Manchester United going in with an offer which it's not an outrageous offer. They're not taking the piss out of Barcelona with that offer, right? 70 million in total is roughly 80 to 85% of what Barcelona want. I think that's a very reasonable, just under the level of what they want, and to the point where they have to consider it, but they're not considered it. They've rejected it out of hands. When do you think United will go in with bid 2? Because if we're looking at what United have done, right, this is a point where things can and have dragged out before. Manchester United, I don't think we need to wait around. What's the point in waiting around now for a bid for Frenkie de Jong? Go straight in tomorrow with bid number 2. Right? That's what I think. Let me go down here. Josh, you think it'll be Monday? Lots of you saying Monday. Well, Saturday and Sunday exist. Come on, people. John, a fucking extremely good point. Very, very good point there. The Glazers take out on, no, it's much less actually. The Glazers take out £21 million per year sterling from Manchester United. That's around about 26, 27 million euros. And if we met, well, I don't think we will miss out on De Jong. But yeah, the difference in price is less than the dividends that the Glazers have taken out year on year for the last 4 or 5 years. Chris, you're hoping for tomorrow. Matt, you're saying a week to make another offer. Why wait? No, it shouldn't take a week. It should not take a week. There's no reason why these negotiations have to be delayed and delayed and delayed, right? Barcelona know we're at the table now. We've been talking with them, as Fabrizio Romano said, since 1st of June. 10 days we've been in contact with him. 10 days later, the first official bid has gone in. I'm not surprised they rejected it because they want more. But they're in Barcelona have put themselves between a rock and a hard place. They really have. By being such a poorly run club, by over-investing in players like Dembele, Coutinho, Griezmann, inflated wages, like $500,000 a week they think they gave to Griezmann. Insane money. And now they're like, oh, shit. That's the situation they're in, and that's why De Jong has to be sold. He doesn't want to leave Barcelona. I don't think Barcelona want to sell him. I genuinely think that when Frenkie de Jong moved to Barcelona, I think he probably thought, you know what, I'm going to be here for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. And now he's going to be leaving. But I'll tell you what, Barcelona's loss will be Manchester United's gain. Frenkie de Jong, I think if all I'm not going to say when he I'm going to say when he joins. Watching him play, oh my God, I'm going to it's going to be like we're all going to sit there and go, oh, we haven't seen a player like this play for Manchester United for so long. It's going to be incredible. And in a system. Ooh, boo, 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 boo. Mate, I'll tell you what, I'm wearing Dutch shirts for the rest of the summer. I'll tell you that. Let me go down here and read a few of your comments. If we are changing our transfer approach, says Mark, a deal should be agreed by early next week so we can move on to the next one. Completely agree with you, Mark, there. That's something that we've seen before. The length of time that there is between offers going in, the amount of time United spend at the negotiation table takes away from their ability to negotiate elsewhere. And we've got so much to do this summer. Central midfielder, defensive midfielder, centre-back, a forward of some variety. Phil Jones needs to be sold. Anthony Martial, I think, needs to be sold. Andreas Pereira needs to be sold. We need to sort out the future of Dean Henderson. We need to sort out the future of Eric Bailly. We've got so much to do and relatively little time compared to what we need to do. So we can't afford to just sit here and go, right, okay, let's just wait. Let's just wait for that for a week and see what happens. Edgar, you're saying, saw a report on ESPN Barca looking for 100 million. That would be coming from Samuel Marsden, my friend. He's saying here that Barcelona will be listening to offers worth 100 million euros. And that right there is the exact same as Manchester United going in with an offer of 70 million euros. We know 70 million euros is probably too low for what Barcelona want. Barcelona know that 100 million euros, they're never going to get it. So what happens? You meet in the middle, and I think it will be around about 80 million. You're probably going to be looking at, if this is Manchester United's original offer, 60 million plus 10 mil add-ons, you're probably looking at United going to raise that to around about 70 million plus 10 mil add-ons to 80 million euros total, and probably making 5 million or so of those add-ons quite difficult to achieve. Something that will only be achieved if Frenkie de Jong really succeeds at Manchester United, getting into the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or or something like that. And that will be a situation where Barcelona are happy and United are happy. We get our man and we can move on. Let me go down here and see what you're all saying in the comments. Sam, would you take de Jong, Anatomy, Anthony, and Timber and use Martial this season? Jeez, I'm personally just done with Anthony Martial. That's a personal opinion. I think he's had enough opportunities. There were some of you in the comments here who'd be like, Sam, why don't you have the same opinion of Rashford? Simply because I don't. I don't think Rashford is done at United yet. I think Rashford's got one more season. This season, He has to prove himself. If Rashford doesn't refund himself this season, simply put, United will cash in. We'll get good money for Marcus Rashford and he'll go elsewhere and he'll make a good career of himself. Because Manchester United have to become a club, a bit like Liverpool have been, a bit like Chelsea have been, a bit like City have been, where the players that they sell, they're still very good players, but they don't quite fit. But because we sell them not 3-4 years too late down the line, they've still got a resale value, and we can then reinvest that money. It's like Ferran Torres going to Barcelona. Mane is obviously looking to leave Liverpool right now, and they're going to get good money for him. I'm sure there are plenty of other examples that you could pull out here. But United will have to do that next summer with Rashford if he doesn't succeed this season. Let me go over to Twitter and see if there are any more updates. There we go. We've got some from The Times. We've got some from Disco Mirror. What else are we saying down here? Right, let me bring these two up for you. And it is all very much of the same ilk. And we are covering it here live on United People's TV. Hey, look, if you are new to United People's TV, welcome aboard. Lovely to see you here. Please make sure you drop a like on the video. It does make such a difference. And subscribe if you're new. If you haven't joined into these, I'm here live Monday to Friday, every morning at 9:30, bringing you all the news. And when stuff breaks like this, I try to cover it as accurately and as in-depth as I possibly can for you. All right? So make sure you subscribe. It's good. Right, let's go over here. This is what David McDonald was saying from the Mirror. He's saying that Manchester United have had a 60 million bid for Frenkie de Jong turned down. United made the offer knowing they would likely reject it and are ready to return with an improved bid. It's just, that's the way it goes, man. It's negotiations. But we're in negotiations now. The thing that will make us, I suppose, understand whether we're starting to act differently this summer, as it was said in a comment before, what's the weight between offer 1 and offer 2? Let's see. United, man, go quick, go hard. Don't wait around. Offers being rejected. Why can't that second offer go in tonight? What's stopping? There's absolutely nothing stopping it. Make it happen fast. Let's go over and see what else is being said from The Times. Charlotte Dunker's over here saying it is understood that Barcelona, why is that not zooming in? There you go. It is understood that Barcelona would accept a bid in the region of 65 million, which is what they paid Ajax for him 3 years ago. I don't know whether 65 million is completely accurate. I don't know whether the exchange rate has changed X, Y, Z. I don't think it will be 65 million pounds that he goes for. Nivash Sam, thank you very much. Appreciate you, my friend. Now, what else are we all saying down here? Everybody keep getting your comments in, man. I'll try and read as many. Tun, you're saying, look, let's get Timber and Sangare too. Little teaser for you. I've got an interview going out tomorrow morning with Rick. Can't remember his second name. Sorry, Rick. But a very, very established Eindhoven-based journalist. I spoke to him about Sangare, about his career so far at PSV. I asked him about the release clause that exists, and he confirmed that to me, about the bid from Manchester United. And I tell you what, he's mentioning names like Liverpool who have sent scouts to watch PSV. So it'll be an interesting conversation for you to watch. That's going out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Nick, you just sent a super chat, sir. What you said, Barca need the money now, desperately. They also don't want to drag this deal out. I think this will be done quick unless someone else comes in for him. What do you think then, peeps? Do you think there's any chance that another club comes in for Frenkie de Jong? Do you think this, at this moment in time, Manchester United are in a one-horse race, right? Which I find very surprising. For a player of Frenkie de Jong's quality, is it not a surprise that other clubs aren't interested? He could definitely do a job at City, for sure. They're losing Fernandinho. Is Gundogan leaving as well? I think Gundogan might be leaving. Bayern Munich, they're always interested in the best players. But United, at this particular moment in time, we've got the run at Frenkie de Jong, and we've got to take advantage of that. You can get hung up about Darwin Núñez if you really, really want to. I don't think that's one that you get hung up about this summer. Darwin Núñez, and I've explained this, but I'll explain it one more time for anybody else. Let me just say this quick to sort of stop all the Darwin Núñez comments. Liverpool's squad are in a position where they can go and spend 100 million euros on a 22-year-old attacker who's just had one breakout season because they can. Their squad is in a position where they can go and do that. Effectively just going and picking a gem and adding it into a squad which is effectively nearly complete already. Manchester United cannot do that. Manchester United are not in a position to do that this summer. We cannot afford to make that mistake. We cannot. If that 100 million is going to go anywhere, 80 million. What would you rather have? 100 million for Nunes or 80 million euros for Frenkie de Jong? What's going to make more of an impact to Manchester United's team next year? Of course, it's Frenkie de Jong. Of course, it's sorting our spine first. It's sorting our midfield, sorting our defensive midfield, and probably sorting our centre-back. But I do think we still need an attacker. That's why I've been looking at Christopher Nkunku. But honestly, don't get upset about this Nunes situation. Don't get dragged into it and think that United lost out. Don't really think United ever stood a chance. And don't think United... I mean, we've been in talks with his agent, but it's never really gone further than that. I'm sure we're in talks with lots of agents. That's why I think so about it anyway. I can see quite a few of you down there mentioning Conrad Lehmer. I've spoken about him. I have no idea why United are not looking, but maybe we are. Again, I hope we're surprised, man. I hope United come out of nowhere at some point in the next 2 weeks and boom, whether it's Conrad Lehmer or Ibrahim Sangare, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise at this point, but I hope we get surprised with a signing or a name. We were like, oh shit, we put in a bid for someone and everyone's like, where's that come from? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Ty, you're saying Frenkie de Jong is a huge statement signing of United. I do think so. And I do think he would be a transformative signing. As I said, if you're looking for someone to bring in, someone who knows the Erik ten Hag system, somebody who's in their prime, somebody who can come and bring a new composure back to this team, back to a United team that's looked so shit in possession for so long. It's like we're scared of the ball. It's like we're playing hot potato. Every time we've had the ball in the last few years, we've tried to move it as quickly as possible from back to front because we're scared to have possession. That changes completely with Frenkie de Jong. He's going to be the architect of Ten Hag's football on the pitch, the conductor. Whatever you want to call him, it's going to be beautiful to watch him play. And I can't wait for it. I really, really can't. Let's go for Foden, someone says down there in the comments. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? What about De Ligt, says Brooks. I don't think De Ligt will be coming anywhere near Manchester United. I don't think we should be looking anywhere near De Ligt. And it's like bringing the whole gang back together. That's not going to happen. Let's just get Ziyech in there as well. Who else we got? Tadic, yeah, you can come over too, man. Sod it. Schöner, yeah, you go on in you get. Bring Daley Blind. Sod it. Let's change our name to Manchester Ajax. That's not going to happen. But Frenkie de Jong, yes, please. Valiant, you're saying de Jong is a big win for us. I think it's a huge win for us. I really, really do. And as I said, I'm waiting for it to be done, but I've been wanting to do a video on how transformative a signing Frenkie de Jong would be for Manchester United because I don't think it can be understated enough. I really, really don't. He is more than just a midfield signing for United, and it's the start of something new. Really, really is. Paul, you're down here in the comments. You know what I think about a CDM. And look, Tiddicombe putting it perfectly. As well as a conductor, we need an enforcer. We need that partner. We need a bouncer. Not just a pure bouncer. Somebody who's got a bit of craft and a bit of guile about him himself, but somebody who's physical, can impose himself, can protect and screen that back four. We need that just as much as we need Frenkie de Jong. It's two sides to the coin of what we need in midfield this summer. Frenkie de Jong is one side of it, and that's the beautiful, sexy side of it. But there's got to be an ugly side to it, a fighting side to it too. We have to do both. If we want to do one and not the other, we're still going to have a massive hole in midfield. Lots down there saying, well, not lots actually. There's a comment there about Declan Rice. He ain't coming anywhere near Manchester United. CJ, I did do the redraw this morning. Is it Andrew Webber? Andrew Webber? No, it wasn't. I can't remember who it was. But I did do a redraw. I need to message him actually. I forgot to do that earlier. Sorry about that. Brian Brobby as well. Jeez, you really are just trying to get that in. Sat, you're saying Sangare and Frenkie de Jong, the two sides of the coin. Whether it's whether it's Sangare, whether it's somebody else, there has to be somebody else there. I think so anyway. And that's why I did that video earlier. You know full well right now, me on United People's TV, I try to be as positive as possible. I always try to look for that angle. I think it's important to spread that feeling because it can get very toxic in a fan base. And if I was to get toxic, then others may follow that and be influenced by it. And I don't want to be the person that spreads that sort of feeling among United fans. But I had to do that video earlier saying, look, I think he's doomed. Ten Hag is doomed if he doesn't get that enforcer to go alongside him. And I do stand by that. MD, you're saying we're losing 4 midfielders in Pogba, Matic, Mata, Lingard, and we're only planning to sign Frenkie de Jong. I don't know, man. Hey, look, no one said we're only planning to sign Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong is definitely coming in. We're looking at James Garner coming back from Nottingham Forest. If we're looking at those players that you've listed there, he can definitely have as much impact in this squad as Mata and Lingard did. Donny van der Beek's coming back on loan. It will feel like a new signing because he's hardly played at Manchester United in the Premier League. Again, looking at Mata and Lingard. There, Frenkie de Jong comes in. Paul Pogba's forgotten about. Then we need someone for Matic. That's what we still don't have. Mr. Creed, it's Man United. We're the only club that can finish second in a one-horse race. Well, in the last few years, that definitely is the case. So actually, no, we finished sixth in a two-horse race. In a three-horse race. I don't know how many horses. 20 horses in the Premier League, but we are limp basically at the moment. But let's stay positive. I agree with the majority of the comments. I'd be very surprised at this point if Frenkie de Jong doesn't join Manchester United, and so much so, I even whacked on the little Dutch shirt that Fred, big up to Fred Cranham, by the way, that sent this to me. Look, it's a lovely shirt. Why not bring it on? Let me read a few more of your comments down here. It's also mentioning Garnacho, of course. Garnacho is going to be coming in. If you're looking at minutes replaced, he'll be coming in and probably taking the minutes that Lingard would have had. But for anybody, there you go. It's Jason Burt from the Telegraph. He's wading into. Yeah, this is a full-blown update, right? Full-blown update tonight. This is what Jason Burt is saying. He's saying Manchester United are definitely trying to sign Frenkie de Jong, and talks have started some way off agreeing a fee, where Man United determined not to pay over the odds. As I said, we go back to this. We go back to Fabrizio confirming the offer, 60 million euros plus 10 million in add-ons. We go over here to Fabrizio's Instagram account, and we zoom in over there. No, why does the zoom sometimes not work on this? There we go. And he said, look, 85 million is what they're waiting for. That's only 15 million difference. That's easy to get with. And we go back over here and we can see that one. No, not that one. Where is it? That one. Yeah. Samuel Marsden. Well, that's Charlotte Dunker. Man, there's too many people open now. Barcelona will listen to offers only of 100 million for Frenkie de Jong. And I think we all agreed that's exactly the same as Manchester United going in with a lower offer. That United are never going to pay that. Barcelona were never going to accept 60 plus 10. Next offer is the one that should hopefully be accepted. That's why I think so anyway. There's a comment there from Estevo. And I see there, Estevo. You're saying if we don't buy CDM, it just means Frenkie de Jong is replacing Pogba as a headline. The same problem we have with Pogba will be what we have with Frenkie de Jong. Now, I would disagree with that. All right. Frenkie de Jong is somebody who's played in a back three at Barcelona. He always is the man that receives the ball first from the defense. Paul Pogba, anytime he ever did that at Manchester United, he almost seemed surprised that he was getting pressed. You remember watching Paul Pogba in those sorts of situations? So often he'd take an extra touch, turn, lose possession. He'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, Pogba? It's like he was surprised that he had no time on the ball. Frenkie de Jong is far more press resistant as a footballer than Paul Pogba ever will be. Paul Pogba loves playing with space. That's why he loves playing with Kante, because he could do all the hard work. Pogba can just find space and give him the ball, and he can go, now let me do what I want. Frenkie de Jong is a far more rounded midfielder than Paul Pogba is. So I don't think the same problems necessarily exist, but we also do need that person alongside Frenkie de Jong to get the maximum out of him. Frenkie de Jong is only half the party in midfield anyway. That's why I think so. What we all saying down here, as Josh says, try not to spam the comments too much. I've tried to turn slow mode on, but it's still, the comments are still firing in. I'm trying to keep on top of them as much as I can. Leela, how you doing? Nice to see you. Is anything latest heard about of scouting? We should not be spending 80 million on Núñez and lack funds to strengthen other areas. We won't be spending any money on Núñez because he's going to be going to Liverpool. Scouting, I don't know. There's nothing really happening with scouting. That's what I think so anyway. Estevo saying that makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. Frenkie de Jong is he's such a gifted footballer, man. I swear to God, anybody, I'm sure you've all watched him. I've watched him quite a lot. Not at Barcelona, but more for the Dutch team and more for the Ajax team of old. He is going to become a fan favorite so quickly. It's going to be unreal. And he'll force Manchester United to play football. And we just, that might sound like a strange thing to say, considering we play football every single week. But he will make us actually play football. He'll make us want possession. He'll make us want to play out from the back with the ball because you've got Frenkie de Jong there. You can have real confidence in him doing it. Right now, you can't do that with Fred or McTominay or Matic. You couldn't do that with the midfield that we had before. Frenkie de Jong will allow us to play a different style of football, a Ten Hag style of football. That's why he's such a crucial signing. He really will just embody this whole brand new system and the brand new style that we're going towards. Someone down in the comment there talking about Jude Bellingham. He's the creme de la creme signing in that position. But again, Jude Bellingham's better towards the edge of the opponent's box rather than a pure central defensive midfielder. He's not that type of player. But, geez, Jude Bellingham next summer, he's going to be the big one next summer. Probably 100 million plus, whoever signs him. That's why I think so anyway. Let me go down there and read a few more of your comments out here. Look, as I said, I always interact as much as I possibly can. I do try and read as many of your comments. If you're on Facebook, drop a like on the video, leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, subscribe if you're new. And if you want to, become a member. You come into the community and look at that, the 250 quid prize, which I will give away this week as long as he turns up. But if not, and you join it as a member of the community this week, you might still be in for a chance of winning it. And I'm still going to do loads of giveaways. Danny, you're saying, do you think they'll get a centre half? I hope they'll get a centre half. I really do. I do think that Jurrien Timber would be the guy, but I don't know whether that's going to happen. That one's I've got less confidence in. Less confidence than I do have in the Frenkie de Jong situation. And that's even before tonight happened and these updates here. Let me see if there's any more updates that have happened. Let's have a look. Adam Fettis is leaving Manchester United. Nah, that's all right. It's only from the academy goalkeeping department. Look, I'll give it another couple minutes here. Anybody else, you've got any questions you want to ask me about this situation, you let me know in the comments. But let me quickly do a quick roundup for anybody who's just joining in. Nice to see you here. Welcome aboard. Fabrizio Romano confirming that a 60 million plus 10 million bid for De Jong's gone in. It's been rejected out of hand, but that's not too much of a surprise. We're hearing reports that Barcelona want 100 million for him. They're not getting 100 million, all right? They're not getting 100 million, just in the same way that our offer wasn't going to be accepted. Now we play the waiting game. When is this second bid going to go in? I hope and want that bid to go in tomorrow. Let's find out. If it does go in tomorrow, I'll try and come live here with you, but I'm actually out tomorrow. You know, I've actually got a life. Might be a surprise to some of you, but I do things away from the computer sometimes. So I might not be here live tomorrow if the bid goes in, but look, I'll bring you the news as much as I possibly can. Daisy, going to be recording a podcast on Monday. Took a little break last Monday. As I said, not just with the stream that I missed, but also the podcast. There wasn't much going on. Let's see what happens now. There will be a video going out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Ibrahim Sangare, an interview with Rick, a very established and very renowned PSV Eindhoven journalist, to get some insight into that situation. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. De Jong situation, the bid's gone in. Happy days. MD, what are you saying, sir? What's happened to our heavily linked midfielders in previous transfer windows? Ruben Neves and Basuma. Has our scouting and priorities changed? We've got a new manager, my friend. And our new manager is Erik ten Hag, and he's doing things differently. Salim, nice to see you there, man. I haven't seen you here in a while. Maybe you've just been disappeared, busy working. Hey, look, I hope we sell players. Oh, there's so many comments coming in, man. Look, be happy. Monitoring FC, park the bus. We're now rejected bids FC. Hey, look, the first bid's always going to get rejected. That's how negotiations work. For Manchester United, we will be going in with a second bid, hopefully sooner rather than later. I think if Barcelona want 85 million, we'll probably be able to get him for around about 80 million and maybe leave 5 to 10 million of those add-ons a little bit longer, like getting into the Ballon d'Or top 10 shortlist or when we win the Premier League. I think we can do this. And my gut tells me this can be done quickly, all right? My gut tells me this can be done quickly. Jason, you're saying personal terms agreed? No personal terms have been agreed, but the first offer's gone in, right? 80 million is what I expect the second offer to go in. What we don't know is when that will go in. But hopefully it goes in tomorrow. And if it does, you know where to come. Nikhil, nice to see you there joining as a member. And thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. I hope I've covered the news as accurately as I possibly can. And thank you all for engaging. But enjoy your Friday night. Take it easy, everyone. No.